Hello, my fantastic students. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Today, we're going to be listening to a West Country accent. I had the chance to speak to an old friend from my hometown in the southwest of England whilst I was back in England recently. And this gives us an opportunity for me to share it with you so you get the chance to listen to this accent. You might not have heard many people speaking with this style of accent before actually, but this is a great way for me to introduce it to you today. The person we're speaking to actually has more of a softer West Country accent, I would say. It's not so strong. The stronger one is quite difficult to understand for many people, even native speakers, but this is more softer, a little clearer. So let's see how you do when you watch the video. In the video, we'll be talking about how the local area has changed recently and what that person recommends for places to visit if people want to go to that area. Let's get into it. Do you want to just first of all say where you're from and have you ever moved or anything like that? Have you always lived in the same place?
No, so my name's James. I've lived in Buckfordsley all of my life. I've not really left. I've been to Cornwall and lived there for 3 months, but other than that, I've always stayed in the town, really.
Okay, great. And what's it like living in the countryside?
Oh, it's great. It's great. We've got the woods right there. We've got a river. Swimming in the river as a kid, still do. The air's fresher than in the city. And it's great when you look out the window, you've got a nice view and you don't just see buildings. Yeah. You've got some amazing sunsets around here, and we've got Dartmoor right on our doorstep, which is a little national park. And I used to go up there and walk loads, and it's just nice just to go and chill and see all the ponies, the flora and fauna that's up there. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah,
we're in quite a good location here because it's just like 30 to 40 minutes away from the beach as well, yeah?
Yeah, so roughly, yeah. So you've got Paynton, Torquay, you've got Big Bree Beach, you've got Paynton Pier, that's always a good one to go there. Yeah. I never really go to the beach because we've got the river nearby, so it's always to Spitchwick.
Yeah, sure.
So that's kind of like our beach, so we're like 5 minutes away from there, so that's where most people locally go, is to the rivers instead of to the beach.
Yeah, it's true. But I remember when we were kids, like we would obviously be going around locally to like you said, Spitchwick is like a river where you could jump in the river from like a higher place as well and stuff. Yeah,
there's a bit green and it's like barbecue city.
And there's horses and sheep walking around that area as well.
Yeah.
But I heard recently that there's some issues with sewage or something, and some people can't use the river so much anymore.
So there is. So from sort of the Buckfast area down, there is a sewage plant in town, isn't there? So they're monitoring the chemicals that are running off the farmland, but actually up by the Spitchwick area, is so close to Dartmead, and that's not an issue really from that area. But they have blocked off most of Spitchwick's car parks, so you have to park in the bottom one. But in terms of river quality, up there it's still okay. If you come further down past the villages and that, and then there is sewage overflow into the stream.
Yeah, I heard since Brexit, basically we changed the rules slightly here, and then there's not really rules, basically. So
no, it's there's been so much bad weather with the rain, the rivers are overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So our sewage plant, I did notice 2 summers ago, the actual overflow outlet for the sewer is just past the railway bridge. So I saw it leaking into the river, and that wasn't very nice. But
yeah, that's awful. Yeah. It's such a shame because the rivers around here, I used to fish. I don't know about you, but I used to catch like trout, rainbow trout, and there's salmon in the main river as well, aren't there?
So if you go to the Abbey Inn, you can see the fish in the shallows there in summer. And over the years, the numbers have dwindled. But that's a sad thing. But yeah, as kids, in the river over there by the co-op, you'd always pull out an eel. Loads of eels in that bit. Yeah, and then obviously down off of the Orchard Bridge, and then down in that little bit where the flood relief is. Yeah, there's always big ones in there.
Yeah.
get old enough, you can't fish anymore, so you get told off.
Yeah.
So,
Don't tell of someone so young.
me and Josh, last year, we thought we'd go down to the River Dart, and that's all licensed. We were having a poach, and within half an hour, there was a river warden there telling us off. But we weren't.
Sure.
We were only messing about, But yeah, shouldn't have been doing it really.
When you go to the city, do you feel any want to live in there?
So I've been to London. I spent 3 months in London.
All right.
So I do know what the city's like, and obviously I got to know the tube stations quite quickly, because that was the easiest way to get around. But when I first got there, it was daunting, because I'd never been anywhere like it in my life. There's 4 shops here. So to go to a major city was a bit of a drastic change for me.
Shocking.
Yeah. It was very fast-paced way of life.
Sure.
And everyone there seems a bit more busier, whereas here you just kind of relax. But every time I've gone somewhere, every time I see that sign for But for Slee, it's kind of like a relief. I'm like, yeah, I'm home, I'm back in the Shire, because I'm used to not doing that busy hustle and bustle.
Yeah, sure.
We're lucky to get a bus here. We get 1 an hour.
Yeah,
and it only goes to one place, and then that goes off to other places. So we're quite.
Yeah, that's the one bad thing, is the transportation here for sure.
Yeah, there's no train station.
No, nothing.
Steam train.
Steam train doesn't really count now.
Steam train, yeah, that's a day out. You could go to Totnes, but then there's main line there. But otherwise, I don't drive personally, so I'm
me neither.
Stuck for transport.
Yeah.
So. If that bus doesn't turn up, you never rely on getting the last bus. It's always the bus before. Plan for that one, in case that one doesn't turn up. And then, obviously, pray the last one turns up, if that's the case. But, yeah.
100%. Yeah, I noticed since being back that the town's changed a lot. And when I was young, obviously, there was a post office. I remember, even some fruit and vegetable shops and things like this. But these days, most of those places have gone.
Yeah.
There's like 3 coffee shops, which surprised me. The town's only got 3,000 people, so it's so small.
So there was 19 pubs here at once.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So when they were putting the main road through, the dual carriageway, that was 1945. There were loads of guest houses, but they all had pubs downstairs with them. So it was and then obviously during the war, those guest houses had ales and beers. And slowly they've all dwindled. So you had the Sun, that was one to go. Then the Watermans.
Yeah.
So we've got the King's Arms, the White Hart, and the Globe still.
And maybe you can count the rugby club and football club, but only just. Yeah. It's not always open, so.
But my nan used to run the bakery in town. She was there for most of her life. That was down the road.
Yeah,
Huckabee's is gone. That was a laundrette. There was a Vets.
Do you remember the internet cafe as well? There was at one point, wasn't it?
Before, with the old Apple Macs in it, those big globe-shaped computers.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. Not everyone had a computer back then, to be fair.
No. There was a pizzeria.
Yeah, that's
right. There was a fruit and veg shop and a butcher's up on Market Street.
Yeah, and then an alcohol shop. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah,
off license. Yeah.
Down around that was where more Wall is now.
Yeah, next to that, yeah.
And then there was a builder's merchants in the town. That was at the bottom. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's now moved up to the industrial estate, isn't it?
There was a garage.
It's changed. A lot's changed, yeah.
So there's only really the house shop, co-op. What's it called? What's the other one? There's nothing else. It's all shut. But that Huckabee's will turn into like a bar bistro. So
really?
Yeah. So she's selling all of her craft stuff and rugs and pots that she's created. She's an artist, I think. But in there they've put a new bar in, and there will be some sort of little restaurant going in there, which will be nice.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
been shut for 3 years now, I think.
Wow, long time.
Yeah. So when that went, you literally really don't see anybody in the town anymore, unless they're walking to their houses, which is sad. Growing up here, the town was full. There was people in there every day.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then that brought people into the pubs. There was people in the veg shop, and now you very rarely see anyone. You can sit there for an hour and not see anyone.
Do you think that there's enough to get by here, though?
Yeah, with the co-op, it's fine, but that's like a mini supermarket,
Yeah,
and the prices aren't very good there. If you go to Aldi, so our weekly shop this week for 2 people was £62, which isn't too bad.
No, it's not. It's not.
But
not
I price matched it to the co-op, and for the amount of meat that we bought, it was about £36.
Yeah, sure.
So
more expensive.
More expensive in
Yeah.
a local shop than it is, but that's with the bigger chains. That the co-op is quite a large chain.
It does cost. It costs a bomb, to be honest with you, compared to. And half the time the stuff isn't even in stock anyway.
Yeah.
You know, which is always makes my mum fuming. You know.
Well, Sundays you've got to be there when it opens if you want anything to make a Sunday roast with. Last night there was no chicken; that had all gone. So all I wanted was some chicken drumsticks, and there was none. So yeah, it's quite often you won't find what you need in there, which is they always have the same products and it never changes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that's fairly annoying. So then you have to travel to get the bits and pieces you want.
Sure. If someone was to visit Devon, would you recommend them to come to Buckfordsley?
It is a very good base camp.
Yeah, because it's in the centre of everything, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, so you are literally like 10 minutes from the moors. So
20 from both Exeter and Plymouth, you know, yeah.
So yeah, Plymouth's about half an hour, isn't it? So if you were to come to Buckfordsley, it's Ashburton is the gateway to the moors, isn't it? There's that big sign
next door, yeah,
next to the garage, and it's a clear route up there and it's probably better with the road network there. If you start going off in the little tiny lanes that are narrow, you get lost quite quickly. Yeah. And then if you meet someone, it's only one way, so you can't get 2 cars by. So with Ashburton, it's 2 ways up to the moor, and then you're on the 2 lanes.
That's true. Yeah. Spitchwick Way and the way. Yeah. Of course, in the back of town. Yeah.
If you go up past Lavender House, turn right, you're literally on the 2 lanes, and you can see right out to the sea from there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous up there. Okay, and last one on this then. Is there anywhere in this area that you would recommend that not many people know about? So for me, I like Pennywell. I think Pennywell is a good little place for people to visit. It's just a basic farm, but it's like a bit different to others, I think.
Oh well, the steam railway. That's always a really nice trip down the river, and then you get to Totnes. Short walk into town. You've got markets and shops, so that's always a nice day out. But obviously, if you go down Old Totnes Road, there's a spot down there, and you can jump down over the bank, and there's a pebble beach, and you've got the railway bridge along the side. But if you sit there at night, you can see kingfishers and otters, so you're right next to it if you're quiet. But and it's a brilliant place to swim as well. It's just before the sewage plant there, so the water's clean. And you can dive and swim there, but it's a sun trap all day. You can sit.
Really?
Yeah, and no one bothers you. No one knows about it, so that's like...
You've just let everyone know now.
Yeah, the world knows, So there was a couple years back, and one of their sons was really keen on swimming, and they couldn't find anywhere to go. But I sent them down there, and they come back, bought me a drink, and said they had an amazing day down there. And then a few weeks later, for some reason, he phoned up the local pub and put another drink in for me.
Sure.
So he looked back on the footage of where this place was, and he was like, "Oh, that's amazing." And then you've got the Top Church as well, all the caves up there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we've got the largest horseshoe bat colony in Europe.
Yeah. Bats. Yeah, there's loads. I remember walking up the steps a few times. That's scary because, like, in the dark, and then the bats suddenly appear. Oh.
So if you go up there during the summer, and if you lay back into the hedge, you can watch them fly past your face.
Ah, yeah.
Because they in that little alley, or that little hedge crop, they fly down there catching bugs. So if you lay back and you're quiet enough, you can literally watch them fly past your face. And it's quite a spectacle if you go and watch it in the evening when they're leaving to go out.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of them flying out of this little cave. So That's always nice, but I don't generally tell people about that, but I have now.
You have now, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
You released it.
Because they like to be left alone.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Being local, yeah, that's always nice.
And then if you like horror stories, the church obviously has that one tomb, doesn't it?
Yeah, Councillor Baskerville's tomb, so he's buried there.
Yeah.
And there's that story, if you walk round it backwards 13 times, put your hand in,
he'll chop your hand off.
As kids, we never dared as kids because it just carried on. It's the adults that tell the kids, and then they...
And now we'll tell our kids, yeah?
yeah, we'll wind them up, and they'll be scared. But yeah, so he's buried there.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of history, and obviously the Abbey out of Buckfast.
Buckfast Abbey, Buckfast tonic wine if you're interested,
Yeah, take some back.
But it's beautiful Abbey as well. So.
Yeah, I think it's the latest Abbey built in England. So it's built by French Benedict monks.
Really?
And it was finished in 1918. So,
that's really recent.
Yeah, so it's probably one of the youngest abbeys in the country and one of the last to be built. So,
that's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
How was it? How much did you understand? I'd love to know. Tell me in the comments. And if you are interested in more accents from the UK, make sure to check out this playlist. I'm going to be updating it regularly with lots of videos for you to listen to the various accents from the UK.